Welcome back. I'm Andrew, and today I'm going to be talking about whether or not it's still worth it to get the Mavic Air in 2021. Show you guys the main differences between the Mavic Air, just the size difference. See the size difference? We'll go through these one by one, but the main difference is camera quality. Now, the Mavic Air has a 1/2-inch sensor. Your image quality won't be as good as the Air 2S, just because you have to have better conditions before you get the great look that you want. So you have to wait for the light to get nice and soft, and that's usually around golden hour and a little bit afterwards.
Dude, the color is insane right now.
Insane?
Insane.
Whoa.
If you pick up some ND filters, you can get some good image quality before that too. So the way I like to think about it is your 1/2-inch sensor, you have to have these ideal conditions in order for you to get the best image quality, whereas you can get comparable shots with the Air 2S most of the time. Most of the time when you go out and the light is relatively soft, you put the Air 2S up and you'll have better shots. And with the 1-inch sensor, it has better low light capabilities. So you can actually wait for the sun to be completely gone and still get really usable footage. I'll show you guys a real world example of when I went out on a hike. I brought both drones with me and the different footage that I was able to capture. With the Mavic Air, I couldn't find a good spot that I wanted to be at, so I just put it up and just was hoping to find something good while I was up there, but it was kind of slow and I wasn't able to really get anything that I liked. I mean, I got some really wide establishing shots of the place, but I couldn't get far enough, fast enough to actually get good lighting, so I was just roaming around the area. Whereas with the Air 2S, I know it has a bigger sensor, so I can wait until it gets pretty dark before I know I have to fly it. So with that, I can hold off flying it until I find somewhere where I'm happy with, then I can get it up in the air. And even after it's up in the air, it flies much further faster, even though the location I was in didn't have good lighting and I wanted to go further out to chase the sunset. I was actually able to do that. In general, the 1-inch sensor just looks much nicer. As you can see, the Mavic Air still does a really kick-ass job. This was the first drone that I got, and I've just been taking it out on hundreds of flights. Because of its small form factor, I'm able to bring it with me everywhere. Almost on all of the shoots that I go on, I bring the Mavic Air with me, and I've just got a variety of different shots. Now, there are a lot of cons about the Mavic Air compared to the Air 2S. As a drone in general, it's not that bad. So I guess one of the things that people get a little bugged out the most is the sound, or just how loud it is when it's flying. I mean, it's not as loud as drones used to be, but it's still relatively loud compared to the Air 2S.
Loud as hell. Okay. Yes, it is. Ready?
But I mean, once it's in the air and it's that high up, you're not really going to be able to tell anyways. The sound won't really bother you that much. As a bonus for the Mavic Air, you have DJI's older app where you can customize your rates. So that's how sensitive the joysticks are. That's actually helpful for you to capture better shots if you can tune your sensitivity. That way you can fly smoothly and cinematically. The remote controller size, a pro for the Mavic Air is that it has smaller remote controller. This takes up more space, but at the same time, there's more antennas inside, so you have a longer range. Battery life. Another con on the Mavic Air, normally only get about 20 minutes of flight time with the Mavic Air, and you can get up to 30 minutes with the Air 2S, say. They have different cameras. The Mavic Air has a narrower field of view. It's a 1/2-inch sensor. The image quality, it just looks flatter. You don't really get that much depth, whereas the 1-inch sensor, it looks more realistic. The Mavic Air, sometimes it looks like it's just a flying iPhone. You know, flying iPhone, and that's the image quality that you get. You can still get really good images if you have ideal conditions. The low light capability of the 1/2-inch sensor of the Mavic Air just isn't as good. Now, I've gotten a lot of cool footage after the light was nice and soft, but it wasn't too dark yet. That was cool and all, but once it gets too dark, the picture quality just barely holds up. Whereas the Air 2S with the 1-inch sensor, you can get really usable quality even though it's getting dark. That's really cool. So, I mean, lesser camera isn't always a bad thing. It just takes more skill and effort for you to get really good shots. It just pushes you to get better faster. That way, when you do upgrade, you'll already have all the skills required. You get to save money. If you save $500 and you invest it and it compounds over time, that could end up being a lot of money too. Or you could just save that $500 and buy other camera equipment too. Yeah, image quality, you guys will be able to see for yourself whether or not it's worth it. If you do decide to go with the Mavic Air, the only picture profile you'll have is D-Cine-like. So you're going to have to learn how to color grade very well in order to get really dope looking shots, which is a really useful skill in itself. I found that color grading made video editing so much more fun. You get to make the colors look so cool. With the Mavic Air, you'll probably spend a lot of time color grading. If you're not familiar with color grading yet, well, it's extremely fun to color grade and chill. So is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. If the difference between getting a drone and not getting a drone, just get the cheaper drone, learn everything, different tricks, the different maneuvers, the color grading, the sound design, and all of that. Learn it first, and once you get good at it, if you're comfortable enough, then you can upgrade to a better drone if you feel like you need to. Or if the Mavic Air is just good enough for what you're doing, then that's all you need. Especially in a world like this where the earth is decaying, you'll want to capture whatever we can. Share it with people to raise awareness of what's really going on out there. I've been going out on all these shoots and it's been like so dry recently. There's like hardly any green grass and California's in a drought. Especially when I come across reservoirs, the levels of the reservoir are just sinking lower and lower. It really makes you wonder, when these levels get too low, what are we going to do? Once you have a drone, you'll be able to do that kind of landscaping. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you decide whether to get the Mavic Air or the Air 2S. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Okay, one thing about the Air 2S is that if you do get the Air 2S, you'll never have to upgrade. So you can think of the Air 2S as the first and last drone that you're going to get.